I'm Judy Shaw for NYC Floor Talk. Joining me today is Wes Wheeler. He's the president of UPS Healthcare. Wes, thanks so much for joining me.
It's great to be here.
Wes, how is UPS Healthcare and your clinical subsidiary Marken supporting global companies and U.S. agencies during this pandemic?
Well, thanks. I think I'll respond to that in two ways. First of all, you saw this week that UPS announced that we're a big part of the FEMA Project Airbridge, which the president announced this past week. We're very honored to be part of that. Of course, we're there with many companies and many parts of the government to help bring protective equipment, mainly from around the world, into the U.S. to serve the many test centers we have operating now in the country. It's a big part of what we're doing at the moment. On the clinical side, Marken is a subsidiary, and they specialize in clinical supply chain activity, keeping patients around the world on their protocols as they're being asked to stay at home, not able to get to the clinic. We're playing a big part in trying to get those drugs to the patients around the world so they're not taken off the study.
Okay, now you mentioned FEMA. Can you tell me more about what you're doing with FEMA?
Yes, we've been working with FEMA now since almost the beginning of this task force, the president's task force. We have people that are in Washington that are working with FEMA every day. We're basically here to help them as much as we can. They have a very big control tower watching and waiting for all types of materials to get around the world. We're there taking orders basically from FEMA. We have set up a 500,000 square feet facility in Louisville, Kentucky, which is very close to our air hub in Louisville. And we're using that facility to bring in lots and lots of material. We've published 3 million pounds of materials coming in on 25 flights over the next 2 weeks. That's the equivalent of 14 very full 747 freighters. So it's a lot of material coming in, and it's still coming. And some of this is going back and forth to our customers and distributors around the world and around the country, but also into our facility in Louisville.
Okay, now logistics. They're not necessarily front of mind when it comes to battling this pandemic. How important is logistics in this global battle?
Well, we're all working remotely from home. I am. Many of us are. And so we still need medicine. We still need materials. We still need food. We still need lots of things. And so we are doing our best right now. And I think we're being very successful in keeping all of our facilities open worldwide. It is a very global company. We're in 220 countries in the world, operating. All of our 64 healthcare facilities around the world are open and operating. All of the Marken facilities around the world are open and maintaining that critical supply chain to the patients that are on clinical trials at the moment, because they can't go to the doctors, they can't go to clinics, they have to stay home, and we still have to collect their blood for the clinical trials. So I think logistics plays a big part right now in handling this coronavirus pandemic.
Oh, yes, definitely. Wes, any final thoughts?
I think the next step for us, right now we're in a testing mode, testing as many Americans and as many citizens as we can to confirm whether they're positive or negative. I think the next stage is going to be getting us all back to work and treatment. So we're now pivoting our strategy towards treatment and back to work. And as the antibody tests are coming into the U.S. to prove immunity to this virus, we're going to be on the front lines getting those test kits to the American people and maintaining any materials that are needed to continue treatment in the hospitals. That's our next phase, and we're very open to continue helping the American people.
Well, Wes, thank you so much for all that you're doing to help during this global pandemic, and thank you for joining me on NYC Floor Talk.
Thank you for having me.